What's up, y'all? HTG Brian back live. It's New Year's Eve. We're celebrating. Try not to party too hard. Oh no, did I? Uh-oh. What happened? Something just happened. I went live and everything changed. This wasn't like that 30 seconds ago. It's almost like, there we go. Somehow I moved everything over. That was rather... Thank goodness for Control Z. You know what I'm saying? What's up, though, everybody? Had a nice day off yesterday. Psych. We played the worst game in the world. It felt like a day off, though. I know that some people were giving me some razzle-dazzle about it. I got some private messages telling me, man, that game looked great. I was like, you clearly didn't watch that, or you were trolling me. One of the two. But hopefully everybody out there is having a nice, safe New Year's Eve. I've got a small agenda here that I want to run through. And of course, I'll be addressing people as they come in. I've pretty much already acknowledged or said hi to everybody that's already been here. I see it looks like Phantom's out there. What up, Phantom? Anna's out there too. What is up? Faraz has joined us, as well as Michael and Matt S. Looks like Happy New Year's from UK. All right, all right, all right. Good to see it. Good to see it. Big time shout out and special thanks before we get going to Justin as well as Josh. They were both dropping some membership donations, so some of you might have been lucky enough to receive some of those. I dropped a couple too, but I mean, it's always better when it comes from a fellow HTGer. So all in all, pretty good here. Can't complain much. Definitely want to welcome you guys back, making sure my buttons are working. I want to talk about the YouTube. So this real quick was last month. Just as a reminder, we flipped over 211,000 subs. So again, continuous growth. Thanks for spreading the word, hitting that like button and telling your friends and family about us, because it's continuing to work. Now, the algorithm has not been as kind to us lately as it has in the past. So we've had a little bit of a lull in some of our content, especially our new stuff. For some reason, it's just not notifying the majority of you. And I know this because a lot of you are telling me this. So we've suggested maybe turning off the notifications and then turning them back on. That has maybe worked for some. I've also addressed the fact that your phone has its own notifications, whether it'll allow apps or certain things to push notifications to you. Sometimes it's easy to swipe right or click a setting or something and change it. So that might be something you want to look into, assuming you want to get the content. That's if you want it. This isn't like a homework assignment. You're not going to get an A or an F depending on whether you did it or not. But ultimately, if you're looking for the content and not getting it, that would be where I would start. Now, ultimately, how many times can I say that? We had a great month, honestly. So this is last month. We're going to flip it on over. We had 602,000 views last month and 32,000 watch time hours. This month, we jumped up to 675,000 and actually flipped another 1,000 subs. So although the number shows a little light there, it shows also in a 28-day sequence. And obviously the month was longer than that. So there are a few extra days that don't necessarily get counted for in this, but ultimately... Boy, I don't know why that word is like burned into my brain right now. To be honest with you, I woke up with a gnarly sinus headache and I've been dealing with that all day. And I feel like I'm about 40% of full capacity, which is like, 20% of the normal human capacity. So I'm running a little low, but good stuff all the way around. And big time thanks to all of you guys watching our Funko Fusion, Lego Horizon. I know a lot of you probably got the Lego Harry Potter collection for Christmas or some sort of birthday or celebration because all the numbers are up. That's actually one of our most viewed series right now. Lego Marvel Superheroes is always at the top. I find that it's getting bumped down right now in the top 10. There's a goat simulator video, a short that I made that's up in the top 10. And then, of course, we've got a couple others from Lego Harry Potter, but most of them are Marvel superheroes. So big time thanks to all you guys watching, all of those new and old. And of course, it's what's happening. I know there's been a lot of talk of ads or the frequency of the ads. Some of the ad program has changed a little bit. And we're trying to dial that in, but also keep in mind that the ads are currently the majority of what allows me to keep doing this too. So even if it's annoying, I apologize, skip them when you need to, but hey, if you're, sort of halfway watching, let them run, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It would certainly help us out. I was given raised some numbers the other day of how, I was telling her that, hey, I'm trying to get the right balance here because the ad revenue for the last 28 days was this. And she was like, oh, never mind. I'll shut up. I'll let those ads run. And I was like, Yeah, that'd be helpful. So it's that time of year when the CPM or the actual they call it the cost per million, but it's essentially every 1,000 views equals, if it hits a certain criteria, it equals this much. So it's like a minimum wage kind of a thing, and it fluctuates during the year. And right now, it's actually at one of its highest that it's been all year. And luckily for that, because we've been on a little bit of a lull, I said view wise. So definitely, it sort of evens out. We've had way less views, but everything's staying about the same. So it's kind of nice, but it's also a bummer when we see that rise again and it still stays the same. So we'll see how it goes. I see we got SHV has showed up. Glad we could help out with Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, Lego Marvel 1. And yeah, we got lots of videos. If you're not familiar with our Lego YouTube playlist cheat sheet, you might want to go ahead and click on the link that's about to happen in the chat right now. And that'll take you to all of our available playlists on YouTube that are Lego related. So Funko Fusion is not on there, but if you're looking for the guide, we actually have the Funko Fusion written guide over at happythumbsgaming.com, which that link will take you right to. So let's see, your gamers out there finished Skywalker Saga today. Thanks to you guys. Hey, glad we could help out. My phone is on Audible, and the reason for that I will explain in a little more detail in a while. But I got to sort of be on call sort of a thing. So that being said, you might hear a couple of chimes that sound like I'm getting a trophy when really that's just my message notification sound. So let's see here. Anybody else showing up? Thank you so much. Hey, awesome. Yeah. No, that's a great thing to have if you're looking for, any kind of playlist or anything. It just saves. Like we've always added the HTG at the end of our playlist names. Even the Gamebreak right now has a -HTG at the end. That is sort of a search engine hack. Not really, sort of. Basically, by applying the info you want. So let's say you're looking for Lego City Undercover. We had somebody ask about it a few minutes ago. So you'd put in Lego City Undercover and then -HTG, and that should get you right to our content, whether you're searching Google or YouTube or wherever you search your stuff. So let's see here. Okay. So yeah, I'm just kind of on call, like I said. So all right, so appreciates that. You guys have kept the stream alive for a long time. This will be, we're in our 14th year of operation as we started in the end of 2011. So, it's kind of crazy to think of how much time we have spent doing this and how much love we've gotten from you guys. I cannot speak it enough. So, hey, some of you are going to be bummed out. Some of you are not going to care. But this next quick segment right here is for a few of you who have been close to me or have heard me talk a lot about like my music preferences and stuff. Every year at the end of the year, Spotify and now a bunch of other services are now providing a breakdown of the content you consumed while using their platform. So in this case, it's like, podcasts or, music, albums, songs, whatever, right? And every year, I'm always curious to see who I've listened to the most. And I thought this year might have been the year that broke my streak of my #1 most listened to artist. Now, I'm not going to say if it is or isn't yet, but just know that my favorite rapper, musician, artist, whatever you want to call it, is a guy that goes by the name of MF Doom in all caps. He's a villainous theme. So instead of like, guns and drugs and, sex, it's more of a villain. It's more comic book structure. It's more themed. So there's even an album that's all about food. And the way this person rhymes and does stuff, it's blown my mind for years. And unfortunately, he died a couple years back. So the content has not been as robust and new as it always was. A lot of back catalog playing. So anyways, this year I was kind of curious as to if I was going to get the same, and looks like tomorrow showed up. What up tomorrow? Ready? What do you think it is? So this year, just side note, I got really hooked on a couple of new guys that I'd never listened to before. I'm probably going to say it wrong. And I in the songs by this artist, he says it both both ways that I'm about to say it, but his name is Cal Scrooby or Scrubby. I'm not sure. Like he refers to himself as Scrubby or Scrooby, depending on what the rhyme needs to, So I listened to a lot of Cal and I thought, oh man, and then I also fell in love with another guy by the name of Spark Master Tape. He is an unknown, like nobody knows who he really is. And it's kind of cool because it's kind of like the villain persona of MF Doom because you don't really know. I mean, you do know it's Daniel, but a lot of people don't know that. And so for somebody to be sort of mysterious and not really, we don't know who he is. There's a lot of speculation that it's this rapper from this group or this person who's been doing stuff. We have no idea. But Spark Master. So there's a lot of new music I listen to, and of course I listen to a lot of Talking Heads and a lot of 80s stuff. From the Police to even older stuff like Zeppelin and Pink Floyd. In fact, I'm wearing my Aussie Floyd shirt right now. I've been listening to a lot of Pink Floyd again lately since I went to this concert. So that all being said, I was not sure what my number one was going to be. I was not able to record it in the normal fashion. Normally, I'm able to use the PC and capture it. For some stupid reason, they limited it to the app this year. And I didn't really want to go and try to find an app, download to record. So anyways, here we go. Ready? Here it is. Boom. You already knew. Come on. Come on. So number one, top artist of the year. This is where it gets a little greasy, though. I was the top 0.00. I think that's high. I think that's like higher than a whale, one might say. I feel like maybe I listened to too much Doom. That all being said, though, look at the breakdown. It's actually Doom, Madlib, and Mad Villain. So here's a fun fact for you. MF Doom and Madlib combined together to make the super duo Mad Villain. So number one, Doom. Number two, Madlib. Number three is Madlib and MF Doom. Pretty funny, right? Quasimoto, number four, is Madlib's alter ego. It sounds like he's talking with like helium, because Madlib's real slow and talks, kind of got a deep, slow voice. And then, Quasimoto, hey, he's like a total different persona. And I just love the back and forth between the two. It's the same person, but the way he does it, super impressive. So kind of funny that top four are more or less the same two people. And then, of course, Cal made number 5. So I was right. Cal actually did make it all the way to the top 5. So pretty interesting. As far as song selections, this was a little bit interesting here, too. So Who Are You is actually Cal Scrooby. Some People is Cal. Calabasas is actually Sparkmaster. And then Mincemeat is MF Doom. And then Feed the Dogs, that's Prof. So Prof still made the list too. He did make the top 5 like he had the last couple of years, but pretty amazing stuff. And again, as a little side note for my hobbies, as you guys know, I love Doom. I had a super big month filled of MF Doom stuff last month, including a bunch of new collectibles, the 20th anniversary of Food, which check this out. Y'all haven't seen this yet. Reese actually got me the double vinyl for Food, the 20th anniversary. So as you guys saw last month when I showed you, I got a bunch of new stuff. I got a poster that was one of 300, very limited edition. I got the cereal box with the minifig, not as limited, but still pretty limited production. And I got a lot of stuff, but I didn't buy any of the vinyl. Now, currently, I do not have my own record player, but my son does. He has a lot of records, and we've been buying more and more. In fact, his birthday's coming up on the 15th, and we're going to go to 2nd Avenue Records up in Portland as part of his birthday extravaganza. So we're supposed to be doing Topgolf, going to lunch at one of his favorite places we haven't been to in a long time, Otto Sausage Kitchen. We're going to go to 2nd Avenue, and my brothers and a couple of other friends are likely going to tag along. So going to be a fun little day. I see Superman showed up. What up? Did I ever tell you the high score for Donkey Kong, the arcade guy? I don't believe you have. I'm trying to see where that fits into our current conversation, but no, feel free to drop that. Emerald, what is up? He says, what else is crazy? What else is crazy? What else is crazy? Talking Heads and Early Floyd. Yeah, been getting into Doom. Nice. I appreciate that. You know, some of them are better than others. You know, I really appreciate like the instrumentals. He's got like 4 or 5 volumes of instrumentals too. Like I actually at one point I even sent them over to Kirsten, who's not at all into rap music. Like I'm sure she's probably got a few songs that she would consider things that she likes, but she's not somebody that's historically a rap music lover. And I sent her a couple of Doom songs and she was like, yeah, I don't, like she was trying to be nice about it. And then I sent her all the instrumentals and she was like, oh, actually, this is pretty chill stuff. So, I mean, there's a little something for everybody, but it doesn't always apply to everybody. So, all right. So next up, we've got the, well, funny enough, it's the theme. So I got a big package this month and I wasn't sure exactly what it was, but after a quick inspection, I took note of the manufacturer. I was pretty stoked about it, but I was also blown away by how freaking big the box was. I mean, it's huge, as the Tude Man would say. Super 7 is largely one of the main producers of vinyl and action minifigures. So there's a lot of like hip hop and like famous musicians and pop culture people that Super 7 has made. Yeah, I'm getting a call from my dad. I'll have to call him back. Let's see here. But you can shout. So the next one up. So then I took a quick note. Oh my gosh. It is an MF Doom supersize vinyl Mad Villain collab. So unfortunately, I took a picture of the back side of the box that had the stickers from the packaging on there. And what you could see if you saw the other side was that I actually got 810 out of 3,000. So I had no idea when I ordered this how limited the production would be, but 3,000? That's it? I mean, when you think about it, like if you were to have to put 3,000 anythings like in your driveway, house, whatever, that's a lot of stuff. But if you're talking like worldwide, 3,000 is next to nothing. So if you're curious to see what's inside of it, I actually was too much of a wuss to open the box all the way because of its collectability. Right now, people are already selling it for double, and I've actually seen some listings for triple, and a couple for even more than that. So just to put things into perspective, I did pay $300 for this. And here's your first peek at the box. That's one of the sides of it right there. So it's a collaboration. There's a song, there's a video. It's all comic book style. It's very amazing. I would play it for you, but copyrights would jump me and I'd get in trouble. But ultimately, so that's kind of the one side. The beat is so butter, which is a line from it. And then you can see here too, some lyrics from the actual song that this is based off of. And then just to make things real simple and fun, I did collect the actual image from the product page. So that is what the doll looks like. It is 16 inches tall. It is huge, and it is the villain. So something that I may or may not ever pull out of the box. We're talking about doing a big remodel. Some of you know the story. I don't have a lot of room. In fact, like I have an A-frame room and it's sitting like this. So the room is long this way, but short on both edges, like over behind me too. It's real short. I can hit my head, no problem. But I mean, that's the ceiling right there. And I mean, the camera's right there and it's literally, the ceiling is sloped only about 2 inches above it. So room is very scarce around here, and I've already got a bunch of junk. And obviously we have things for living like clothes, dressers. We have the dog. We have a recliner. This is also kind of our hangout room. So our big TV and entertainment center is right over here. All of that being said, we are about to sit down and do a remodel attempt on some blueprints. And then hopefully maybe by June, we might start with some of our process of upgrading. It may be a little bit longer too, so we'll see. But anyways, that being said, I hope to bust open that collectible and have it out there. One of the items I actually picked up last month was the popcorn bucket for Gladiator 2. I know I already showed you the popcorn bucket, pretty epic stuff, but what I didn't know is it actually fits on my wife's head. I got the MF wifey Doom here. And as a joke, I was actually just showing my mom the popcorn bucket, just explaining to her this phenomenon with the popcorn buckets for every movie now, right? and she had no idea. And so I grabbed it, and when I was passing it around, Jillian was like, I wonder if this fits. She put it on, and then what was even funnier? Mom put it on too. So I guess the M for MF stands for mom. I don't know. It's supposed to be metal fingers, metal face. I mean, there's various, versions depending on the time or the rhyme, right? It's one of those things again. Right on. Appreciate the high score. That's awesome. That's awesome. But yeah, so like I said, there's a lot of love for Doom around here. But you know what? There's not a lot of love for Christmas. Boom! That's right. We got the Reesemas boom going on here. So this is sort of a precursor to our boat ride that we did for Christmas. So Reese is really big into the Costco guys right now. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the Costco. I don't know their full names or whatever, but I believe it started off with a father and a son, and they went into Costco and they're like, yeah, I'll try the samples. And they'd like make little raps and rhymes about it. And to be honest with you, it sort of drives me nuts. Like, I feel like, like when you think of like things like Idiocracy, the movie and stuff, I feel like, and whether it's purely entertainment or whether that's how they really are, I don't know. And it's not for me to really judge, but I'm not a big fan of them at the end of the day. And Reese was pretty excited. If you notice, he's not only got the boom happening here, but if you look, he's got the boom shirt on too. So the Costco boom. Anyways, no, Superman. I have not played Donkey Kong since it was in an arcade. I never played Donkey Kong Country. I never played any of those things. So, no, to answer your question, I have not gotten a high score because I did not have enough quarters or desire to play that game. So, so his hair is needing a haircut. It's kind of hard to see it. He's got a beanie on. But that being said, real quick, I'm going to explain. My grandmother passed away this last year. We had always celebrated Christmas Eve at her place. So it's my mom's mom. And we always did my mom's side, the Christmas Eve, ever since I was born. That was always how it's been. Christmas morning was always at my dad's house. As I got older, it was at my house. And then Christmas Day was at my grandfather, so my dad's parents. So luckily for me, they both live within about 20 minutes of each other. After moving down from Portland to Salem, it's always been a quick trip. This year, the last 2 years, my grandma has been in a memory care unit. And so we were not able to have it at her house. And my aunt filled in, and she lives about 40 minutes away. Not too bad of a drive, but she has a fairly small house. And although we have a nice house, it's very compartmentalized. So there's lots of rooms, but not a lot of room in any of the rooms. So like 3 people, 4 people comfortably, 5 people starts getting crowded in any of our rooms. And, at the end of the day, we didn't have a whole lot of people show up this year, so we probably would have been fine having it here. But we opted to not do it here. And my aunt was like, well, I'm not doing it here. And my mom's like, well, if it's at the coast and it snows, no one's going to be able to get in or out or anything because they live in a gated community that's on this giant hill. And it wouldn't be very accessible. In fact, when we had the fires a couple years ago, she got stuck. A tree fell, and she would not have been able to leave, and may have had to leave all of her stuff and jump over the tree. But like she couldn't get her cars through or anything. And luckily, a good Samaritan came with the chainsaw and sawed up, and it turned out to be one of my friends. Out of all the people in the world, it ended up being one of my friends, and that was a whole crazy thing. He had no idea my mom lived there. My mom had no idea who he was, even after I told her. But he was one of my 503 guys that I played SOCOM with for years. Anyways, so Jillian, my wife, made the suggestion that we have a stern-wheeler paddle boat here in Salem, and it's widely available to rent. So we thought, why not check it out? So we suggested it to my mom, and within 20 minutes, my mom had already called them, got the date lined up that we wanted, found out how much the pricing was, what kind of food bars we had choices of, and what it will look like, and will it be dressed up with Christmas? Yes, it's cheap. It wasn't really that cheap. It was like $40 a person. So for us, it was $120 to do it. We got 2 hours on the boat, food was paid for, and we got to go on a cruise. So all that being said, you don't get the full experience, but I'm going to sort of narrate as we go over the experience. So Here we are actually walking up. This is that's the Willamette River here in Salem, Oregon, or Solame as we like to call it. The brush got a little thick, so I ended up not getting as good of a shot as I was hoping to walk up. But there you can see it's a Willamette Queen is the name. It is a stern wheeler. It's got giant paddles on the back, so a very classic boat. Not huge, but good enough size that you know, was worth checking out. You can see the water is almost like glass. It's very calm, and it seemed like it wasn't flowing very hard, but as it turns out, it was flowing way hard, and we were not able to actually go very far. So there you can see it's all Christmased out. There's the Reesmas boom in its normal habitat. And of course, there you can see the windows did not provide an anti-glare. Oh, we got a poop deck selfie. We had to get the poop deck selfie. So that's me and Reese. Jillian came up for a family picture here on the poop deck. And this is right about the moment I started to become sick. The paddle started spinning. Although we weren't moving forward or backwards, they had a weird motor pushing us out sideways. So it must have been like some sort of air jet or something. And it started pushing us out, and I was like, ugh. Like, you can't say, I don't say anything. Get out of the way, Reese. Suck in that belly. But yeah, there it is. So ultimately, we were supposed to go out that way, but the water current beyond that little lip there was too much. So what did? We did about 6 spins around in this 100-yard little spot. We got to eat. There was all sorts of cool nostalgia. They had some like cool little paddleboard boats that were like little models. They had the piano. They had the original license. And there's this. So here in a second, this is opening gifts. Okay, so we're going to cut to some audio here in a minute. I'm going to let it take over. That's my cousin Eric. He lives up in Spokane. I don't get to see him very much. That was a weird glitch. I'm not sure what happened with the actual footage from my camera. But here we go. Check this out. Listen. Shh. Read all the bullets. Oh, you might need to erase my name.
Peanut free, sugar free. Emotion free. Emotion free. Yeah. It's all for nothing. Thank you.
All right, now that was my stepdad. We got him nothing, if you didn't catch that. There was a couple of eagles. If you look closely on the left side of 2 trees, you can see some big eagles. We got a nice little selfie in front of the tree before we got out of there, and that pretty much concluded our holiday experience on the Willamette Queen. It was really fun. And yes, Bobby, I am bad at cruising. I have, you know, as I've gotten older, for whatever reason, my body has become a little unstable with motion. So even things like back in 2017, so quite a few years ago, we went to Disneyland. And at one point, we opted to go on a Ferris wheel, a very simple, non-crazy spinning anything. And I just remember being so unstable. Like, there's this thing that my brain has that when my brain knows that something is not right or could potentially cause me damage or harm, it like starts to panic and freak out. And I have not always, I used to climb on roofs and jump off of them and climb trees and jump from tree to tree. And I mean, I autocrossed, I've snowboarded, I've skateboarded, I've BMX'd. Like, I've done so many things that would cause and have caused my body tons of harm over the years. And maybe that's why, but ultimately it's not always been that way. So, the motion thing, I got to take Dramamine, and I opted. I was like, you know what? It's fine. I'll be fine. And then we were going to stop and get Dramamine just in case, and we forgot. And so when we got on the boat, everything was fine. Hey, what's up, Judy? Everything was fine. But all of a sudden, like when the paddle started spinning, but the boat started going sideways. Oh, snap. Superman gave me with a $5 super chat. Let's see here. Would you play Bikini Battle, Overhydrated, SpongeBob SquarePants, and Cosmic Shake? I actually have those games. I've never played them. Gray and I were going to do a guide for them a long time ago, and we never got to it. But what a drug user. Yeah, bro, I mainlined that Dramamine right down the hatch. What up, Nom? So yeah, it did not sit well. After about 5, so here's what happened. So we went sideways, right? And I was like, oh, I don't like this at all. So I walked off the side and back into the cab of the upstairs of the boat. And then, so I'd walk from the end all the way to the other end, basically. And then I was walking back. For some reason, they didn't have this back door open, which we should have been able. I think it had something to do with the tree being there or something. But anyways, when I was walking back, the boat was moving forward. And so everything was going like double time by me. And I was like, I was just like, oh my gosh. So I sat down and I looked at Reese and Jillian and I go, we forgot to get Dramamine. And she goes, oh my gosh, we did forget to get Dramamine. And I was like, I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be okay. And then my mom was like, it's food time. Come and get your food. And I was like, okay. So everyone got up and went and got food. And I just was like, all right, I'm going to sit here for a minute. So I sat there and like, I was just like looking down, right? Trying not to let my body, my eyes see any movement, right? Like, only the feel of the movement, and that wasn't helping. So I was like, all right, I better just go. I just got to forget about it. That's one of the things that I found about myself is that more often than not, I can sort of power through it if I choose to. If I want to dwell in the fear or the anxiety or whatever's happening, I find that I'm pretty good at that too. But I found that if I power through it, right, just pucker up and go, I usually, and sometimes even just verbally saying like, I'm really uncomfortable to Jillian or Reese or something, for some reason, it just unlocks the key to freedom and normalcy. But I mean, yeah, so I went downstairs and I started dishing up my food. And the worst part about that is that there was a little bit of, motion from the boat, not much, but a little bit. And there was windows. So I was like at the front of the boat. So it was like everything was visible. So I'm like looking down, trying to, I sat back down and I was like, I had food. I wasn't sure I was even going to eat it because I didn't want to puke it up. And then I just started talking to Jillian about stuff and, just making fun of my stepdad and whatever. And then like all of a sudden, like 5 minutes had gone by and I wasn't sick anymore. And then the rest of the trip was great. So it was totally awesome. And I would recommend an experience like that for somebody, even if you are a little bit weak stomached like myself, some Dramamine. I know they have those little bracelets with the pressure points on them. Those are supposed to be pretty helpful as well. But, ultimately, yeah, I'm ready to take on a cruise ship now. Bobby, where are we going? No, I'm just kidding. But it should be something that I will look into in the future because I did like the experience. Fun fact too, I didn't show the photo, but there was about a 25-minute conversation between the captain of the boat, who is also the owner of the boat, and his wife with my stepdad, who, he's done pretty well in the real estate business. And, he's got a little cheese floating around and the boat is for sale right now. The Willamette Queen is for sale. And so they started talking about numbers and what it looked like and what the possibilities of turning it into an Airbnb and like where other places they can port, and park it, what the rent looks like to park it somewhere like that, especially with a dock and a setup. Like it was my understanding that the boat was like $150,000, but to park it where it's at is like $300,000 a year or something like that, or the right to, there was like a big lump sum, but then it became pretty inexpensive after that. So it's a lot of Airbnbs for $400K, but anyways, doubt that'll happen. All right. So next up, a little backstory. Some of you know this, some of you don't. As a child, we used to read a lot of books to Reese at bedtime. There were certain nights that a book or two would get read and he would still have energy left. Go figure. Or perhaps maybe we just, earned some extra screen time and he was able to watch something. Now, the nighttime rules for watching stuff were very strict around here. We had to watch stuff like Oswald or Peppa Pig or something very calm and soothing. No G.I. Joe, no Sonic the Hedgehog, no Mario Brothers, no nothing that would be really stimulating, right? I mean, it's all considered stimulating, but the Peppa Pig and the Oswald and those kind of things are very calm and soothing. They talk in very soothing voices. And so anyways, now that you know that, fast forward a couple years and Reese is having a sleepover. There's like 4 or 5 of his best friends over. They're like 7th, 8th grade, something like that. And I'm over it. They're bouncing off the walls and I'm like, settle down, shut up and watch some TV. Let's turn on Netflix. So I popped open Netflix, went to Reese's child account because we didn't want him having access to the adult stuff. And we didn't necessarily want Oswald or Peppa Pig, but we wanted something that fell into that, children's category. And so we get there, and the first thing they see is Peppa Pig, and then it's Peppa Pig, and then it's Peppa Pig, and Peppa Pig, Peppa Pig, Oswald, Peppa Pig, and they're like, ah, ha, ha. Of course, they all made fun of Reese, right? And I had to explain to them, like, this is not a Reese thing, this is a me thing. Like, we have all these things saved for easy access so that on nights that he gets extra screen time, and we've already read our books, or maybe we skip the books, or whatever, he's getting to watch these calming, soothing things to help put him to sleep. And they're like, whatever. So anyways, night went on, no more bullying or made fun of was happening after that. However, Mom and I locked onto this whole thing. And that year for Christmas, which was only like a couple months after that, like I don't remember what it was. I think it was like August or November or something like that. School, I think it just started and the first weekend or something. So a couple months goes by and Christmas is here. And I got Reese a Peppa Pig bath and body wash set. It had like a loofah with the pig head on it and it's a body wash and stuff. And it was like a joke, ha ha ha, right? Like I had no intention of it being like a yearly thing, but he was like, so made a huge deal about it, right? Like, I'm going to burn this and throw it in garbage. So stupid. And then like the next day I got in the shower and there was the soap, the conditioner, and the loofah. And it was in there for a few months until it got worn out. And so he sort of accepted or embraced it. And so the next year, I don't remember what we got him, but it's so on and so forth. Every year, we got him the video game one year, which ended up, I tweeted that and ended up getting me a sponsorship with Outright Games. So like, there's been some real positive things that have happened from this whole sort of debacle or trollery or whatever you want to call it. And so every year for Christmas, we sort of like, oh, you just wait, and he's like, oh, I don't want this, and so this year we went all out. Last year we got a blow up yard Peppa Pig, but we put it in the house next to the Christmas tree and we put some money on it. We always spice it up and make it fun. A couple years ago, we got like the whole set, the whole family plushie set. Each one of them had a $20 bill in their hand. So, I mean, we've always done good, but this year, this was the year. So, that being said, check it out. This was actually the night before, so Christmas Eve. We decided to have our dinner here at the house, and we had a delicious meal with a Peppa cake. But check this out. I'm going to go silent.
Hello, Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! From Mama Pig and
Daddy Pig.
Come give Mommy Pig a Christmas hug. Mwah.
Oink, oink, oink. Oh my God, you guys are the worst.
What do you think?
Did we nail it?
Surprised you had to wear a suit.
Hey.
You also have Grandma Pig?
Here, take us.
This is so stupid. Oh my.
We love you, dude. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Pigmas. So then on over to my dad's house. So there's my dad on the right in the orange, my brother Tyler on the far right, and Alex on the far left, and baby Luke in his hand there. It's kind of a short photo, but we did end up going and spending a bunch of time at my dad's, and that was very different this year. As I mentioned earlier, I lost my grandmother on my mom's side. I also lost my grandmother on my dad's side. So this was the first year of not having those grandmas at both sides. And my dad's side, we've always gotten all of the family together. So my dad has two brothers, and their kids always show up, and we always meet up at, my grandfather's or my dad's or my uncle's, and there's always like 20, 25 people. It's always amazing. It's so much fun. Everybody gets caught up because we don't see each other. Life goes by so fast, And so that being said, it was pretty awesome to see everybody, but also very short. Not everybody showed up. So because grandma wasn't there, my dad's youngest brother opted to go spend Christmas with his daughter's husband's family, who has a huge family, and they do a big thing. In fact, they've got a freaking city named after him here in Oregon. So, anyways, I'm sure they had a great time, but they went out the other way. Now, my dad's oldest brother, my dad's the middle brother, my dad's oldest brother took off and went to Germany and was in Germany for like 3 weeks from like December 7th or something to like the 28th or no. It was like the 23rd they came back. They were gone for like 3 weeks, came back like 2 days before Christmas. No way they could have acclimated to the time and been normal, you know? And so they just said, you know what, we're just going to sit at home and pass. And so it ended up being my dad, his wife, my brothers, and one of them is married, so his wife, and then their kid Luke, who's 5 months old, like 2 days ago. And then Reese, Jillian, and I. That was it. Well, my mother-in-law came too. Muffy came too. So Muffy was there as well. But I mean, it was just really different this year, you guys. Like being on a boat, that was really cool. But also like, man, I miss grandma. I miss seeing grandma. And like, you know, grandma and I butted heads and I always kind of robble. We got to go see grandma, you know. But, you know, it definitely felt different this year. So I still have one grandfather left. He's in rough shape too. We got our fingers crossed. He actually sent me a text right before I started saying Happy New Year. So he's at least coherent enough to reach out and wish me happy birthday. But hopefully he gets some more good life years left because he's like 89, 88, 89. I think he turned 89 this year. So anyways, let's see here. Luke says someone take a picture of this. What are we taking a picture of? Oh, Merry Pigmas. I can put up the Merry Pigmas photo on the Discord if y'all want to see it. Let's see here. I can do that real quick here. Discord. Gift cord. Nope, I don't want that. Merry Pigmas. All right, so if you guys are wanting the Merry Pigmas, there it is. Yeah, and you're hearing me correctly. Merry Pigmas. I don't know if you guys noticed too, but did you guys check out Reese's shirt that he was wearing? Here, I'll pop up on the video again. So right in the very beginning of the video, you see him wearing a shirt. See that shirt? You see what that is? It won't reset. It should restart. Yeah. That's a Peppa Pig turbo shirt. Peppa Pig turbo shirt. With a Peppa Pig cake. I mean, I'm telling you, we went all out this year. All right, next up. So, as I just mentioned, I lost my grandmother a couple years back. Actually, 2018. Grandma fell, broke her hip, and they ended up going into a retirement home after that. Grandpa and grandma. And when that happened, my grandmother gifted us one piece, or it was like half of a giant Christmas cactus. This cactus has been around the family. It was actually my grandfather's mother's. So my great grandmother's Christmas cactus. And it had gotten big and it got split in two, and we got half of it. And I want to say my Uncle John and Aunt Kim got the other. I'm not sure what happened to the other half, but we got the big half. Since then, so that's 6-7 years ago, right? Since then, we've put it in the condition it expects to be in, and it has never bloomed. It's healthy as can be, but it's never bloomed. We got blooms this year. That's crazy. Like, crazy. You can see them. They're not huge. They're not whatever, but like, that's way cool. Like, is that the spirit of grandma here making that happen? Is it coincidence? Is it You know what I mean? It's what it's supposed to do, but it's never done that. We've had it for all these years. And even, before she passed away, we would always ask her, like, what are we doing wrong? What are we supposed to? And my grandma was like, I just kept it out in the garage, and at night it got dark, and during the day it got light, and it just had the right temperature, and it was fine. And so, like, we've got it in a room that's cold, that gets daylight, but also dark night times, does not get frequented. So not a lot of lights being turned on or anything at night to interrupt any kind of light cycle, even though it's not the right kind of light. Plants can be affected by regular non-incandescent light. I think I said that right. Yeah, did you hear? Reese actually said that. You heard that, right? You heard Reese say, I don't think he needed the suit. His buddy John showed up over Christmas morning too, and I go, what do you think? He goes, you look like you lost a few pounds, and I was like, get out. Actually, two of his friends. That's something I didn't mention. Two of his friends did actually show up, and they had to be here at a certain time. We wanted all of our Christmas to get done. And then we waited in the kitchen and we gave them the old, hello, hello, hello. And they were like, oh my God. They turned around and walked out. It was pretty hilarious. All right. So one last thing. As you guys know, I watch a show pretty, I talk about it quite often. We reference a lot of the sayings a lot. In fact, it's been a while since I watched it, so they've been a little dormant lately, but that's soon to return because I'm going to watch it again. But I got a bunch of Funko Pops for Letterkenny. So I already had the Shorzy one. You can see I got a special Obi-Wan Kenobi one on the far left there too. But Wifey got me Wayne and Gus, who is the main guy of Letterkenny, the toughest guy in Letterkenny. Katie Cat, who is his sister, who's also the main star of one of the games that was up for vote on the poll on our Discord today for the next Monday stream game. And Katie is one of the main characters. And then their best friend Daryl, or Derry as they call him, is over on the right there with his puppers in hand. And then we got the skids, as they call him, Stuart and Roldy, who are two of my favorite characters. Like Roldy, the way he talks to Stuart, he's always like, Stuart. Like, I don't know. It's hilarious. And then you got Riley and Jonesy, the two hockey players who are both dating Katie at the same time and seem to have no problem with it. So have they got protectors on them? Only one. The Obi-Wan Kenobi does have a plastic case around it. That was when I ordered the Funko Fusion Pops a couple months ago. They had a mystery option for a Funko. And so I grabbed it, and I didn't know it, but it came with a plastic, one of the, protection things. So I have one. I don't think it's on the most valuable one. Reese actually Googled it when I opened it, and he was like, oh my God, it's $1,000. And there was an eBay listing for that. Stop timing out, Nam. What are you talking about? I timed him out one time. Oh, snap. I read that. Oh, stop timing out, Nam. Hey, he asked me. He got what he deserved. And Anna, I saw your comment about he's probably done with Peppa. Mid-year this year, he really bitched about it. And I was like, listen, bro, if you really hate it that much, I'll stop on your 21st birthday. So he's like, sweet, only one more Christmas, because he's going to be 21 a year from next month. But he didn't really account for the fact that there were still 2 Christmases within that time frame. So we got one more. And when I told that to the wife, she goes, I never signed off on that. So we'll see what happens as we move forward. But it's a love-hate situation. I mean, you saw him, right? He's smiling. He's not pissed or angry, we have fun with it. I mean, these are memories that he'll always have. If I die tomorrow, he'll always have these laughable, wacky memories, right? And that's the whole goal, to create memories and long-lasting love and hate. But yeah, so that is pretty much that. Moving forward, we've got stream schedule coming up, so it'll be live streams 2025. It's going to be, I'm going to have to make sure I correct all of my templates that I use and everything, but you guys voted today, and I heard you. We're going to go with Squirrel with a Gun for the next Monday Fun Day game. It's only expected to take about 6 to 7 hours to complete it. So, you know, if I do good, I might actually get it done in one stream. It's possible that it'll take me 2, but it shouldn't be any more than that. So, you know, I like getting your feedback. So it's possible we might have another vote in a week or so to see what will replace Squirrel with a Gun. Some people have been asking for South Park Stick of Truth replay because I mentioned that a while back and I picked it up. So that was one of the vote options today. There's also some other things too, like I have the Goat Simulator remastered possibility. We could check that out. I try to keep Mondays simple and simulator based. Just because it's just easy for me to jump in. You know, if I have a case of the Mondays, I only have to play a simulator game. Tuesdays are usually our stream co-op day where we play with friends. Due to the holidays, though, we've had people out of state and maybe even out of country if I'm doing my homework right. But they should be all back soon. Kirsten, she'll be back soon, and we'll be able to pick out a game and roll forward. Now, I got to be honest. I was actually going to drop a huge surprise and offer to buy a not an expensive game, but a non-discounted game for everybody so that I could just friggin' play it because I want to play it so bad. But as it turns out, when I went to buy it, I think I was talking to Gray about it when it was happening, and Gray was like, "Why does it say it's single player?" I was like, "I don't know, it's 4-player co-op," and he's like, "No, it is not. It says 1 player." I was like, "Nah, I played 2, 3, and 4. They're all co-op." And he's like, "The remaster is solo." And I went and looked, boom, totally solo. So the Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, DRDR, is officially off the table for co-op days because it's not a co-op game. Why do they do that? Why do companies make an amazing game? Why do companies make an amazing game and then remaster it years later and then take things that made the game amazing out of it? Like Ghostbusters had that amazing PS3 game, and then they remastered it and put it on the PS4, PS5, and Gray and I bought it and went to go play it, and it was solo. It was single player. How are you going to do that? Like, how are you? Like, that is so unfortunate and unfair. Like, that is what made that game so much fun. Anyways, Wednesdays, we got the Indiana Jones. That's right. We're going to continue to move towards the Great Circle, and hopefully we'll be finding our way towards completion soon. Now, people have asked me, do I plan on 100%ing the game and stuff like that? Now, I mean, I plan on finishing the story for sure, at least going Bobby status with it. But, you know, depending on where we're at, what it looks like, I mean, if I have to play it all over again on the hardest difficulty or something like that, I probably won't. If it's just a matter of picking off certain collectibles or certain things like that, I might go check it out. But, you know, it's an Xbox title, so I'll probably wait to really put the 100% effort into it until it becomes available on PS5. So, yeah. Netcode isn't that, but they'd rather not. Well, so what? Get it sorted out. By now, there should be templates for certain, like engines, like Unreal 5, you would think would have a certain amount of like pizzazz that would just be ready to pick off and go with, right? I mean, I'm not an expert on that stuff, but I mean, a lot of that stuff by now should be pretty much, you know, within the editors and stuff, right? But, you know, single player is easier. Don't get me wrong. But like when you have a co-op game and, you know, like they did that with Jumanji too. They, the original Jumanji game from Outright was 4-player co-op. It was actually quite fun. We had a blast. We platinumed it, played it for weeks. 2 came out. We were all excited. Once it dropped, it turned out it was not co-op. So like, why would they do that? That's so weird. All right, moving along. We got Thursday is off. We're going to keep that as our project day where we work on things. Like right now, it's Lego Horizon Adventures as well as Funko Fusion. If you've noticed, I have not uploaded any videos in about 10 days because, well, I need to have a meeting with Doug before I can really confidently move forward with Lego Horizon. And then we also have a little hiccup with a possible glitch or undesirable loading sequence. Basically, things are not proper in a level of Funko Fusion, which happens to be the next level I need to record. I've reported it to them. They told me they would get on it and get back to me, but it wouldn't be till the first of the year. So that is coming up soon. And I hope to get some resolution on that, because I got to be honest, it feels weird not working. Like, I mean, I've been working, but not like I normally would. I've been, working 10, 12 hours off stream every day, creating thumbnails, editing, doing scouts, recordings, and doubling down. I mean, usually I was putting out 2 to 3 videos a day, usually 3 on a day I didn't stream, and usually 1 or 2 on a day that I did stream. So lots and lots of stuff. So Apex and Fortnite will continue to be Friday's game of choice. Whether I'll be able to field a team to play or not is still up in the air. Dude is guaranteeing me a solid commitment to a day soon. We have not decided on what day that's going to be. So, yeah, that being said, he could be a go-to. Nam is hit and miss with his work duties being first, right? Real life first. There's usually about a 10% chance, which he'll tell me there's never that good of a chance. But we all know how many times he's streamed with me, so there's clearly a chance. But yeah, and then Sunday will continue to be, Saturday, another project day. That's more or less my family day. It's kind of when I spend time. I often end up doing work on those days, especially early in the morning, like recording audio or things like that. But usually the second half of the day is like, go get tacos at Great Notion and meet up with Nam or, something of that nature. Doing something with the family outside of the office's preference. Then Sunday we've got Sunday with Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham, which we're getting into the not wrap up stages, but getting closer. I mean, we're about a third of the way through free play, and we've done at least one of the pretty large areas and tasks. Like that VR room, that was pretty time consuming. It wasn't hard, whatever, but ultimately lots going on there. I think we're 50.1% done with the game. So like literally right at the halfway point. But also I've got a ton of characters and vehicle tokens that I've unlocked that I haven't purchased. So there's a lot of unaccounted for percentage. So I'm probably closer to like 60% would be my guess. That'd be my guess. This is the portion of the stream where I acknowledge the people who have acknowledged us personally over at patreon.com/happythumbsgaming. We got $5 and up tier, which gets you a visual shout out, which here comes Thumby with those right now. Much love to all these people, including the Legos. That's right. I appreciate you, bro. Most of these guys probably maybe even forgot. I know some of them haven't. Some of them are brand new. One of them, good friend April, just joined back up and is added to the list. So that was nice to see her return. Appreciate that a lot. We also have some $10 and up supporters too. And coming in at the oldest and longest out of them all is, you know him as our guide writer, Dougie Fresh 613. Thank you so much, Dougie. Much love. And tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow, maybe Thursday, we'll meet. Because I got to stream tomorrow. It's New Year's Day tomorrow. I'm hoping we're going to meet up on Thursday. That's the goal. Justin with a 5 bomber. Let's go. Pew, 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 pew. We got Void. We got Chaos. We got Wizard. We got Richard. We got Caveman. Appreciate that, Justin. That's at least the 3rd 5 bomber you've dropped today. That is awesome, man. I greatly appreciate that. And, it's a bummer that doesn't count towards the goals. Like, this goal is a really cool thing, but it should also include, when I say all tiers, it should include membership donations as well. So big time shout out to Justin for that. And next up at the $10 and up, we got John Bondi. Thank you so much, John, for your support. Much love. I'm surprised you're not here requesting Rock Band again. This is like the time of the day that you normally like, hey, let's play some Lego Rock Band, which one of these days you'll probably convince me to do it. Maybe. And then let's see here. Who else we got? We got Michael Karsberg. Michael's been showing up to a lot of our streams lately. We greatly appreciate that. He's not here right now, so we'll go ahead and throw out the secret word, which we'll go with Reesmas. The Reesmas Boom, which you guys know as... where'd it go? Where'd my button go? There it is. Here it is. Boom, 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 boom. What's funny, too, is I'm just now realizing my aunt and her guy are in the back smooching. I didn't realize that. Smooch, smooch, smooch. Out of all the times I've played that, I don't think I've ever noticed that. Anyways, I did notice my little cousins looking up and like, oh, what are you doing? We also got April White. Thank you so much, April, for your support. It's glad to have you back on the Patreon support. And much love, much love. Hope everything's going well for you. Hopefully you had a good Christmas and New Year's too. Last but not least, we got Bonnie Miller. Thank you so much, Bonnie, for your support. Much love. I'd love to hear from you. It'd be so nice to catch up and see what's going on in the world of Bonnie. All right, that's pretty much all I got, except for I do have one last little piece of information. Most of you know this already that have been hanging out watching the daily streams, but old Reeser decided to go help a friend of his move back to Oregon. He has only been away from us in this capacity like once, maybe twice. We've traveled a fair amount, but he's always been with us. We very rarely leave him home for anything. He's been a part of pretty much everything we've done, and vice versa. He's been, not really left us behind, hasn't really had opportunities to go a lot of places. And when the opportunity struck to go to Houston and drive back across half the country in a U-Haul, he was the most excited I think I've ever seen him. And, Adam's a good kid, and we were all for it as long as we weren't having to foot the bill. Like, we can contribute, we can help out, but we didn't want to pay for a plane ticket. We didn't want to pay for hotels. We didn't want to, that's a pretty expensive deal. And, normally when somebody moves and you're helping out, there's often a tab that gets picked up. And in this case, a lot of it has been. So like the gas is pretty much solely being paid for by Adam, who's moving. Reese has done some sharing of the driving, which I'm sure has helped out Adam. Hotel, Reese paid for the hotel last night. Adam's getting tonight. So they're kind of shifting back and forth on that. Reese bought his own ticket and, got the econo ticket. So of course, carry-on and stowaway luggage was not included. And as a result, his backpack had to be paid for. So he had to pay extra money on top of his ticket. I mean, you probably could have gotten like a economy plus ticket or something and not have to pay for any of that, but it may have equaled the same. I don't know how it all works out, but flight went great. The worst part about the flight was, there's like statistics about flights and things all the time, like so many airplanes in the air at any given second and all that. And the likelihood of them having problems is very low. But did you know that the day that my son flew all by himself for the first time was one of the first days maybe ever that 3 airplanes actually crashed? So when we were seeing breaking news, airplane crashed, we were a little bit worried every time. So until he landed safely in Houston, it was a little bit of a stressful moment. But yeah, three airplanes crashed on the day he flew. So that was nice. But hopefully everybody, I don't think everybody made it, but hopefully everybody was okay in those other situations. It didn't sound like it, but ultimately he spent 11 hours, I think, yesterday driving. They got up fairly early and they made it to Carlsbad, Carlsbad, New Mexico, I think is where they ended up staying last night. So they basically got all the way across Texas, because Houston is in the sort of not bottom right corner, but eastern, it's kind of southeastern side. And they made it all the way up. In fact, I'm looking at our Stalker app right now, and it looks like he's still putting along. And yeah, I mean, they're up into Colorado. And oh no, they've actually crossed over. So they went up from New Mexico into Colorado, and now they've cut over and they're into Utah. So, I mean, he could be home before we know it. No, he's still got like, when I looked last, it said like 947 miles away or something like that. So he's still quite a long journey out, but we've been texting. That's why I've had my phone on, because if, he gets in a jam or has issues with the hair, or not with the hotel room. I said hair dryer. We just got a couple things from Amazon delivered. Anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much all I got, guys. I got through Patreon, got all that. So on a last little note, what up, Tyler? Last little note. I contacted Volkswagen directly on the, well, I can tell you which day it was because I have a message here. It was on December 8th. They told me that pricing would be out before the end of the year and not to expect Golf R's to be in the stores or dealerships right away, but in Q1, which could be January, February, or March. So I'm still on the wait mode, you guys, but they didn't say for sure, but they alluded to the fact that the information would be out for packages and pricing and availability and an expectation of when they might show up. I mean, we're like the last place on the planet that's not already tomorrow. So I'm looking at their media site that they sent me to, saying that it would be out soon, and it's not. So I'm pretty bummed about that. I was hoping to have my car by now, and it's looking more and more like Nam and I are going to be twins. I actually had a long talk with my friend Greg today, who is a very big Volkswagen guy and has been building an R32 for a couple years now, and the progress is slowly getting back to almost being roadworthy with having like everything, literally everything replaced. Motor's been built, limited slip's been upgraded. So all the driveline, drivetrain, all that. Wheels have been upgraded again. Suspension's getting upgraded again. The supercharger has a new tune and has a new pulley system. I mean, everything is. I mean, bro has dumped a lot of money. I don't even want to say the number because it's a lot of money. He told me today too. He's like, if I would have known where I was going to be at this point, I would have just bought a Golf R and I would have been happy with it. So it's been a long journey and it's tough. So we're both waiting. So we're both like having sympathy for each other. Like, man, you've been busting knuckles and getting dirty and wrenching bolts for all these years, and you're still not ready to be where you want to be. And I've been waiting, saving my money, watching my account get bigger and bigger and higher and better, readier and readier. And then my car's just not around. So hopefully it'll happen sooner than later. But at this point, I don't know what's going to happen. But we talked about cars, and the RS3 is kind of like my second choice, which is what Nam has. So unfortunately, Nam has the color and package that I would likely chase if I was to go after that. So, he doesn't want to be twins, but we might be. So anyways, guys, hey, my food is here. My wife went and got us pizza, and so it is here, and I can smell it. I'm hungry. I'm ready for it. I know you guys got some New Year's celebrations to do as well. We're going to lay low. I think probably have an adult beverage or two and just watch some shows. We've been watching Big Bang Theory again. We're basically at the end of season 2 again already. So we'll probably make it through a handful of episodes of that. We might watch a movie or something. I don't know. We'll see what's going to present itself to us. We did find that we're in a little bit of the bone zone, if you will. We ordered a new washer and dryer last 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago. We knew it was going to be here on the 2nd. Well, they called today and they threw us a giant loop. They go, hey, this is the address, right? This is yeah, this is what you got, right? Yep. Okay, we're taking 2 washer and dryers away, right? Yep. Okay, cool. All right, everything's good. We'll see you on Thursday. And I was like, all right, cool. And she's go, oh, also be sure to make sure you have the current updated version of the wall outlet plug, because if you don't have the one that we need, we're not going to be able to plug it in. I go, okay, I'm pretty sure we're good on that. She goes, okay, the way you can check is just pull the plug out, and if it has an L-shaped bracket on it, you're good to go. I went, all right, cool, thanks, bye. Hung up, went upstairs, pulled the plug out. Not the right plug. We have a 3-prong triangular, no L shape. So that's what actually spawned the whole conversation with Greg, because he's my electrician. And so I called him and was like, hey, what? And so we went through a whole thing. And he doesn't do any on-site work anymore. He has people that do it. So he's like way high up now, And so I've got a guy that he's referred me to. So I called him today, but it's New Year's Eve. Levi didn't want to hear from me on New Year's Eve. He's like, brah, I'm not calling you back. So hopefully we'll hear from him Thursday. Otherwise, we don't know what we're going to do, because we can have them drop it off, but the plug won't work. Now, my buddy told me that I can rewire the washer and dryer plugs if need be. In this case, I'd only need the dryer plug. and it's all fine, but that could void our warranty. I don't want to void a warranty on a machine that I haven't even used yet. But I also then asked, how much is it going to cost to plumb the 4 wires? He goes, well, if it's just simply swapping the plug and you have the 4 wires there and you're wired for it, that's like $50. If you don't have the 4 wire, you'll have to run a new setup, and that will cost you about $1,000. I was like, oh my God. So we kind of laughed about it because I was like, bruh, if I get 3 or 4 years out of this washing machine or this dryer before it goes bad, and then it's not covered under warranty because I swapped the plugs, it might be cheaper just to buy a new dryer and swap the plug again, you know? But I mean, eventually it'll catch up because if I toast a couple of them, it would be more than $1,000. So anyways, guys, hey, much love to you all. I hope you guys have a wonderful New Year's. I hope everybody stays safe. If you're shooting off fireworks, shame on you. People got dogs and PTSD. But celebrate anyways. Do you. I won't shame you too bad. We're going to give Drex his trazodone. In fact, wife probably already has given him his nighttime sleeping aid medicine. And like I said, we're just going to chill and lay low. So is that it? Anybody got a last chance to ask me anything? Unless your name's Nam. You are not. You'll be timed out hard with a capital H. I know there's a little bit of delay, so I'm just waiting a half a second for people, because I know some of you are slow typers too. Bro just got the 24-hour ban. 86,000 seconds. That's the funniest thing I've seen all day. That is the funniest thing I have seen all day. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. If you haven't already, please check us out on happythumbsgaming.com. And, of course, we're available over at HTG merch. Make a perch. And, guys, that's going to do it for me. As always, until next time, Happy New Year! Happy New Year!